wrong.
No more sanctions, no more bombs. No more sanctions, no more bombs.
What a strange time to be alive here in the United States of America, when you get to see what the modern left is doing in real time. 1 minute it's I stand with Ukraine, the next I stand with Palestine, free Palestine, no dictators, but now they're actually standing for dictators. It doesn't make any sense, and the Venezuelan people are saying this is a good thing, and the modern liberals are saying no, it isn't.
I heard you're from Venezuela.
Yes, I'm come from Venezuela.
And you don't agree with any of these people here, right?
No, I'm not agree. I'm not agree with Trump because Trump helped to my country obtain the libertad.
Can I ask you, there's a bunch of Americans here who have never
lived in a communist and socialist country with a socialist government.
So Americans are protesting here against the arrest of Maduro. They've never been to Venezuela before in their life, and you have, but they stand against the Venezuelan people. How do you feel about that?
I feel happy. We're happy.
Merida, or in Margarita Island, or in the Llanos. How do the people in the Llanos feel about that?
Are you living?
I'm asking you the
No,
question.
I'm asking you.
Have you been to Venezuela? Have you been to
I lived for
Venezuela?
the last
But I know about
21
that.
years in Venezuela with a communist and socialist government.
So,
Your guys
and
have
let me-
idea.
Let me give you some
about
advice.
the communists.
Let me give you some advice.
Don't have idea.
Let me give you some
The
advice real
communists.
quickly. All these people in shirts are going to surround you here in a second. They're going to try and drive you out over there where you perceive to be you have your freedom of speech amendment. You're more than welcome to be anywhere you want to, express anything that you want to, and continue to do that. Don't listen to any of these people in these orange shirts. They're all paid organizers and protesters
Yes,
by
for sure.
communist
For sure.
activists.
You
volunteers,
don't have-
actually.
You don't have
So-
idea. Let me something.
I think
Let
everybody's
me
a
tell you
volunteer here.
something. Let me
Do you
tell
have
you
anybody
something.
who's-
You
Yes.
don't
Do you know
have
Democrat
any
Socialists of America?
idea.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
heard about
They
that.
have a collective bargaining agreement with the Communication Workers of America. No, don't go over there.
If you can explain, if you want to explain me, go to Cuba. Go to Cuba. Live in
Cuba. Where's Cuba? Isn't Cuba going to be isn't it a dictatorship still?
Yes.
I mean, this stuff is nuts. It's crazy. And the modern left were out protesting immediately. They immediately had signs. They immediately had T-shirts. It's insane what these people are up to. And you know it's not pro-Venezuela. It's just anti-Trump. They don't care. Here is a young man saying that Hugo Chavez was a hero for the Venezuelans.
Chavez made sure that millions of kids who never had access to education would. He did so by sometimes using the Venezuelan army to seize the property of U.S. companies. He seized the oil and used that money for the Venezuelan oil, nationalized the oil to pay for social services. The quality of life for the poor in Venezuela skyrocketed. And today, the U.S. empire bombed his grave. They want to destroy the memory of the hero Hugo Chavez. Viva Chavez!
I mean, I will never take these people seriously ever again. And people are clapping and cheering as if socialism is a good thing. Like I've said before, it's never worked anywhere in the world, and it's 100% not working in Venezuela. Here's a news report on how grocery stores are doing in Venezuela from 4 years ago.
Venezuela now, where the economic crisis is becoming more dire. Many grocery store shelves, they're just empty because of the Maduro regime's drastic price controls.
And as Local 10's Cody Weddle reports, the stores that do still have food are being overwhelmed by starving Venezuelans.
Food shortages have become pretty common over the years here, but after those new economic measures, shelves in supermarkets like these are looking more bare than ever. In supermarkets around the country, whole aisles now bare, stores without products to be displayed. Freezers empty, staples like beef, chicken, nowhere to be found. Employees lining up the items that do remain single file, an attempt to make the place feel less empty. This man saying what's really sad are seeing the shelves totally empty. There's nothing.
Carne, pollo, huevo.
This man saying, I can't find chicken, eggs, meat, anything. I'll have to go to the street markets to see if I find it there.
Es un fenómeno que tiene efectos en la economía real.
The situation a result of new drastic economic measures implemented by President Maduro. According to a local economist, the minimum wage raised 155%, new price controls put into place.
Que la gente intuye que eso iba a provocar.
People sensed that the new minimum wage would produce a jump in prices that caused people to overwhelm supermarkets and pharmacies. Garcia calling it a snowball effect.
También provocada por la angustia.
People were paid and went directly to spend all of their money at the market. The inventories were already low, and that's why there are empty shelves now. At the few places where some products remain, the line snaked through the store. Economic anxiety in a country where uncertainty reigns. And so, as has become custom here, the black market here expected to thrive with the items we can't find in traditional places like these. Reporting in Caracas, I'm Cody Weddle, Local 10 News.
Yeah, with that being said, socialism really doesn't work at all yet. The communists of America, these leftist lunatics, want socialism and want us to return Maduro, who is a narco-terrorist. I mean, Trump said, stop sending your drug boats over here. Maduro said, challenge me, you coward. And that's exactly what happened. He effed around and found out. Now let's look at inflation levels from Venezuela from 2018. All right, here we are over at Forbes.com, and they're explaining the inflation in Venezuela and why. Venezuelans' inflation hits 80,000% per year in 2018. I wonder why. Venezuela's economy has collapsed. This is a result of years of socialism, incompetence, and corruption, amongst other things. 80,000% inflation in 2018 alone. Yeah, and these people still want socialism and communism in the United States. Well, that's not going to happen. I mean, these people are ridiculous. I will never take them seriously ever again. Here is a clip of some liberals. I mean, the white liberals are the worst in our society. They're the worst. And people are watching them. They're proud of what they're saying. It's insane. Here's some clips of people saying they'd rather have Maduro as the president of the United States than Trump.
Would you trade Trump for Maduro?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I think Trump, I think Maduro was democratically elected.
Probably, yeah. Sure.
More than likely, yes, of course.
If there's a Nicolás Maduro out here who's going to bring us to revolution, I will support that movement.
I would rather have a bus driver in charge than a billionaire, okay? Let's put it that way.
Nicolás Maduro could come and be our president? Yeah. Oh, any day. Any day. Look, all the check marks are there. He's not white. Okay, he's a minority. Okay. He looks a little too much like Saddam Hussein, though.
Let the Venezuelan people solve the problems of their own country for themselves. The U.S. needs to stay out of it and mind its own business.
Are you Venezuelan or do you have family?
No, so I'm actually Colombian.
No, I'm not. I was born in Louisiana.
No, I'm from New York State.
I consider myself Venezuelan because I am Colombian. It's the same countries that have been divided by the same people, by the same regime, which is the United States government that has been over 100 years on our countries.
Were you all organizing when the Obama administration had slapped some sanctions on some officials in Venezuela? Because this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of anti-war because Obama wasn't calling for intervention into Venezuela.
I was absolutely opposed to it. I wasn't in the country at the time, but yeah, I was definitely not for that.
Under Obama, there was U.S. military intervention all throughout Africa. Bombs dropped in Somalia every day, and so I don't support U.S. military intervention, no matter the president.
You think that Venezuela would be better off if we just left, Maduro in charge?
100%. Just to reiterate, our sanctions have cost the economy almost $40 billion.
Okay, so tell me about Hands Off Venezuela and why you're out here today.
Hands Off Venezuela is a protest against U.S. intervention in Venezuela. John Bolton, Elliot Abrams, they have a history of escalating conflicts in the region to the point where U.S. actually military intervenes. So that's what we want to prevent.
Well, I saw the movement, through social media, and I'm just out here to show solidarity, with a country and them exercising their right for sovereignty, and to try to resist American, aggression.
The humanitarian crisis that's happening in Venezuela.
Yeah, this is nuts. It's an insane time to be alive when you have people that act like that, and then they call Trump supporters the ones that are in a cult. No matter what Trump does, these people take to the streets as if they know exactly what they're talking about. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, this was happening.
Venezuela. ¿Listo? Venezuela.
Al fin, señor, gracias. Gracias, amigo.
Por fin, bendice a
Yeah, and you wonder why the Democrats are the way they are. They don't care that this is happening in Venezuela. They really don't care. They like to say they care. That's why they have their signs and their paid protesters and saying that we have the moral high ground here. But they're led by crooked Democrats in Congress that say stuff like this in 2020.
About all these things he wants to do or is doing, but his actions belie his words. Maybe the best metaphor was his claim to bring democracy to Venezuela. There was a big policy there. It flopped. If the policy was working, Juan Guaido wouldn't be in the balcony here. He'd be in Venezuela. He'd be sitting in the president's palace, or at least waging a fight to win. He's here. And the president brags about his Venezuela policy? Give us a break. He hasn't brought an end to the Maduro regime. The Maduro regime is more powerful today and more entrenched today than it was when the president began.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer said that in 2020, then yesterday went to X and put this out. Yeah, so over at X, and 20 hours ago, Chuck Schumer put this out as if he's proud. We must focus on lowering costs for American people, not starting new wars on a whim with no tangible strategy. No tangible strategy. He put that out to his voters, the people that follow him on X. Let's see what he had to say here.
Rubio, I just heard him in your interview, said they're doing what's good for the American people. If they want to do what's good for the American people, it should not be some escapade in Venezuela. It should be focusing on lowering the cost of living that Americans are struggling with every week and tell us it's the most important issue they face. We Democrats are on our front foot. We're going to fight to lower the cost of living and undo all the bad things Republicans have done to raise the cost of living. It's going to be our number one focus in 2026. If they really wanted to do what the American people wanted, they'd be focusing on cost of living, not on some escapade in Venezuela, which could only lead to trouble. Rubio, I just heard.
Yeah, he put that out. Isn't that a complete contradiction to what he put out in 2020? As the affordability crisis spirals out of control and people's health care costs skyrocket, the administration's actions in Venezuela make one thing clear. Donald Trump is the least America First president of the United States in our country's history. Yeah, with that being said, if it wasn't for double standards, the Democrats would have no standards. This isn't about affordability. It's not about the people of Venezuela. It's not about health care. It's not even about the fraud in Minnesota or the Epstein files. It's not about any of that stuff. These people take to the streets, they protest, they cry, they scream, only because they don't like President Donald Trump. That's it. That is it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this segment and what's going on in Venezuela and the liberals in the streets protesting. It's insanity. It is what it is. We just have to deal with these people. But as they continue to double down, I'm going to continue to cover their madness. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. I would not mind the extra support. For the rest of the day, be productive. Be productive. We're all going to try to be productive, and have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Now, get outside, do some PT, hydrate, and change your socks. I will talk to you in the next one. All right, bye.